Hello everyone, welcome to the first how to play Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. This is Matt from JMPR Gaming. We are just going to take a look at the really basic rules that come in the Escape from Helgen book in the core rule set. So, little warning in advance, anyone that's used to wargaming, anyone that has any experience with a lot of games probably won't play through this book. They will just read it because it's very basic. First scenario is movement, second scenario is attacking, and then third scenario sort of combines a couple of extra rules, but mostly it's just getting used to the rules, the very basic rules, before you move on to a main game. But we are just gonna play through it. It's gonna be super quick. I'll set up the next scenario and refilm each scenario. So you will get each scenario that you'll be able to just watch through if you are interested in how the game works, or you've not played a war game before. It might be or a miniatures game. Then this is gonna just give you a rough idea of what you're looking at when if you buy into this game. So what we have is we do have the dice here. They're not going to be used in the first scenario because there is no bad guys on the table. We have the Dragonborn character card. We've got a few stamina tokens which we will spend and just pop on the card there as we spend them. We have our treasure deck. This is shuffled up, but it has set treasures. And we've got 3 treasure tokens on the table as well. Now, in a normal game, they might be locked chests, but we don't know that yet. So what we're going to do is we are just going to... I can't remember which way around these actually go, but sometimes they're locked. In this one, it's just a case of searching them, and then that leads on to the next scenario. So movement in the game is very simple. You move 6 inches basic, and you can spend a stamina to sprint if you wish. If you sprint, you get an extra 3 inches, so you can move 9. You do get 2 actions per turn. You cannot do the same action more than once in your turn. Obviously there are no bad guys or anything in this scenario to go, so it will just be a case of action, then straight into the next round. And it's just going to be a case of grabbing the items and showing them off. So you know what we'll be going into the second scenario with. So, the Dragonborn has escaped the battle raging in Helgen and found herself in a series of caverns deep below the keep. They'll need to find some equipment if they are to go adventuring in this dangerous domain. Okay, so we are going to start the game off with a movement from the Dragonborn. We have not quite enough movement to get to this first treasure token, so we are going to spend a stamina to go 9, and we're going to go a little bit further and touch this token here. As our second action, we are then going to search that token, so we're going to remove the token from the table, we're going to draw from the treasure deck, and we are going to find a potion of healing, which I'm going to equip into this little quick slot here. So that is first. Now, in a normal game, we would activate if we were doing a delve, we would activate a monster or an adversary. If I had finished my turn within 6 of any of them, we would have, they would have automatically got to have a go as well. So obviously not doing that this game. Second action, I've got enough move. I would heal a stamina because it's the next round. Then I'm going to move over to this one without having to spend a stamina. I'm going to search it. I'm going to draw my next treasure token, and we have drawn an ancient Nord war axe. So we have a weapon for the next round. I'm going to pop that in my hand slot, which is just off camera, but for the next game I'll make sure it's in shot because it'll be a bit more important. And then again, end of the round. This time we're going to have to move around. So we're going to spend a stamina to go 9. We're going to move 6 to here, and then another 3 just up to touch that token. Second action, we're going to search the final chest. We're going to draw the card, and we get the Ancient Nord Bow. This is a two-handed weapon. When you search treasure chests, you can freely swap equipment on your Dragonborn. So what I am going to do is actually equip the bow, put the axe into my backpack, and that way I will go into the next game with my bow equipped, and because obviously I'm going to play Stealth Archer, which everyone does. So let's set up for the next game. It will be a little bit more interesting than this little scenario, because we actually have some bad guys on the table as well. So bear with me, I will be right back and we will have a new table set up. Okay, so here we are for scenario 2 from the Escape from Helgen rulebook. In this we have the Dragonborn just moved into the next chamber. She's got her equipment. She's picked up a potion of healing, she's picked up a bow, she's picked up an axe. And she comes into the next room and we find 3 practice dummies on the table. So yes, they might look like skeletons and drow gear, but actually they are just inanimate dummies for her, just to get a little bit of practice with these weapons and before moving on to the next room. So combat in this game is done on skill tests. The Dragonborn has a number of skills with a target number on them. She needs to score under those to basically get a hit, and we'll be getting bonuses to these as well. So we have got a 5 for melee, 4 for ranged. The other skills won't matter at the moment, but basically it's endurance, intelligence and wisdom. We've got a bow equipped. She left the last room holding it. She has to, in this scenario, shoot the 2 archery targets and also melee the practice dummy, which has the melee, which has the sword out. So the Dragonborn is going to take her first action. She is going to look up, see these targets, and she is going to draw her bow. Now, the Ancient Nord bow has a short range of 8 inches and a long range of 16 inches. It also has the ability of piercing 1 if you roll the Dragonborn symbol on any of the dice. What we're going to do is we're going to shoot at the nearest target. She could spend a stamina to do what we call a precision shot, which would add an extra green dice to the roll. We're not going to do that though, because she gets a green dice anyway with the short range of the bow. When you're doing an attack roll, you take the white d20, so this is the dice you're going to be rolling the most in the game, and again on the ancient bow you're going to see that at short range she gets to add a green dice and 2 yellow dice to the attack roll. So this is my attack pool. Okay, so we are needing a 4 to hit. We rolled a 3. We also rolled a -3 on the precision dice, so that's going to give us -3 to that, so that takes it to 0. You can't go below 1. 1 is a hit. We're also going to do 4 damage with the 4 pips on the dice there. If this was an actual enemy, they would roll defense. In this case, this archery dummy just gets taken off the table. What we're going to do for the second action is we are just going to move up and get ready to shoot the next dummy next turn. Now, if these were actual bad guys, moving up would have been a bad idea because they would have both then activated, because I would have been within 6 of both of them. If I had stayed still, it would have just been the Dragir. But in this case, they're not going to do that. So straight back into my second turn. I'm going to shoot this second practice dummy. What I'm going to do is, just to show it off, I'm just going to spend a stamina to do precision shot. So I'm going to get a second green dice in there. And we are going to roll, So the precision shot didn't matter because we rolled an X on the D20, which is a fumble, which means we just missed completely. I did roll -3 on the green dice combined. I would have only done 1 damage, but in this case that doesn't matter. So we spent the stamina for nothing. My second action, I'm just going to move up a little bit more. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. So we are going to heal a stamina at the start of the turn. Going to not bother spending it. We're just going to roll again with the bow. And this time, the complete opposite, we crit. If you crit, you would add a black die to the damage. I can't remember what that symbol does, but it would do something if you had the corresponding symbol on your card. Might do something else, I'd have to double check, but in this case we don't care about the damage anyway, so this archery dummy just explodes. My second action, I'm going to swap the bow with the axe. Okay, so third turn, or fourth turn, we're going to charge into melee combat with the last dummy. The axe does get a green die, so Ancient Nord War Axe, we get a green die and a red die. So the damage dice go up in sort of how good they are. The yellow dice is the worst, the red is the next, and then the black is the best damage dice. Oh, and we're going to crit again. Okay, so this dummy again just explodes into oblivion, and that completes the second tutorial on how to attack. It's very simple. The one thing to remember is always roll your dice all together. Don't roll your damage separately from the attack roll, because obviously the cards will add green dice and things, which are most useful when you are rolling the actual hit roll. They technically could be beneficial because of the Dragonborn symbol, but yeah, don't roll the dice separately. An attack roll is all pulled together, you know, no matter what it is, and then you're rolling it all together. So do remember that is quite important. Just constantly rolling fumbles there. So going to now go set up for the final tutorial scenario, and then we actually get some proper bad guys in the game. So see you in a second. Okay guys, so here we are for tutorial 3. The Dragonborn has picked up some light armour on the way out of the last room, found it in somewhere. However, she's run straight into the next room and straight into a Draugr Greatsword Warrior here, and also a Skeleton Archer here at the back. So normally the enemies work on a sort of reaction system. The tutorial sort of just says they will just attack, so I've just got to defeat them before they defeat me. So we have the adversary cards for them here. They are minions, they only have 1 health point each, and they've got various different sort of attacks there, depending on range. For the Skeleton Archer and the Draugr will just do his normal attack. So I'm going to pop these here. Now, again, there is a priority roll off in the normal game. However, the Dragonborn will take the first turn here. Now, we are already in combat, so it does limit us to, from the tutorial perspective, just doing an attack action. There are other things you can do in the full game, but we are just going to play it straight from the book. So what we are going to do is start by attacking this Draugr with my axe, which I still have equipped from the last game. And we're looking at under the Dragonborn's strength of 5 for the attack dice. And we're going to get 6 with a -3 though, so that is going to give us a 3. We've done 1 damage with a sword. I The sword gives us punishing. Again, we're going to ignore the special rules at the moment because this is just a tutorial. And I also can't remember what punishing does. I think it staggers you at the end, which means this Draugr would only get one action in his next turn. However, that's not going to matter. Now, the Dragonborn does have an ability, which when attacking undead, Daedra or vampires or werewolves, she does get to add a yellow to the damage. So as that's on her card, we will just roll that as well. We get an extra 2 damage off that. So that is 3 damage. Now I think this Draugr is going to be dead. The Draugr has an armor rating of yellow. So blocks 2, but still takes the 1 damage and just explodes as he is attacked. However, he's now dead, so I can start to move up to get into combat with this skeleton archer. I'll try to. That's my turn done. The skeleton archer is going to take her go now. Now, like I said, they are just going to attack in this scenario. Normally, you would roll, I think it's the black dice, and then depending on what you rolled, they would react differently. In this case, the skeleton's just going to take a shot. Now, the skeleton at short range, which we're definitely going to be at, is going to get green, yellow, yellow. Now, the skeleton is sitting on a 3, which isn't bad, but not great. However, the skeleton is feeble, so criticals do not add extra damage. But it fumbles anyway. So we roll the cross, the skeleton misses completely, and I'm safe for another day. I'm going to... Shall I charge it or shall we shoot it? I mean... I guess we just charge it, because if I don't kill it, he's not that great in combat. So we'll move in. And so we... 8 minus 3, no, we're good. We hit on a 5 and do 3 damage, which the skeleton can't block with its armor. Blocks 1, explodes, and we win the scenario. We escape from Helgen. So that was pretty easy. I'm just gonna bring it back to the Draugr. We're just gonna have a quick little witness of what the Draugr can do in combat, because he actually doesn't get... He actually gets... he's not great at hitting you. He hits on a 3, but he has green dice and a black dice, and he does also have a couple of special effects, which is piercing 1, which ignores 1 armor, and punishing, which I'm pretty sure is the staggered effect, which means you only get 1 action until you've recovered. So let's just roll it and just see what he would have hit me for if I hadn't killed him straight away. So he actually does hit on a 3. Now my armor rating is going to be just yellow with the leather armor, but if I roll a Dragonborn symbol I can add an extra yellow, which I do. So it didn't help. So I would have taken 2 damage off of him. No special effects. But he died before he got to do that. So that is the Escape from Helgen sort of introduction to the game. Very, very simple. Like I said, for people that have played war games, you're not going to need to actually play this through. You could just read it, to be honest. If you want to play it through, obviously you're welcome to do that. But for beginners, people a little less experienced with games like this, it is good just to get an idea, to wrap your head around the mechanics. The attack system with the dice is new to me. Rolling all the dice together, it's kind of a a concept that doesn't happen in that many games that I play anyway. It's actually very simple once you get the hang of it. If you see a symbol, you just got to look up what it does, either on the cards. You know, if you don't have the right equipment equipped, it's not going to do anything anyway. I think most of the weapon cards have something on them that, from what I've seen, and certainly the bad guys can hit very hard, even though they die very quickly. If they do get hit in, you are going to feel it. So yeah, hope you had hope you've enjoyed this sort of little look at the beginnings of Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. Well, soon I will be playing some proper games, or certainly some the Delves, because we are able to play that solo or cooperatively. Obviously, it's more likely going to be solo at the moment. But I very much would like to get some head-to-heads done as well, because they are very, very cool. And I'm looking forward to actually playing this game against someone with the adversaries sort of wandering around the table at the same time. I think that's a really cool... any game that's got sort of that slight sort of narrative element where, you know, there are some NPCs wandering around, you know, messing with both players. It's always fun. Like, you know, it takes some of the control out of your hands. You might be planning a perfect attack against your enemy, and suddenly a Draugr stumbles into you swinging his greatsword. So yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to playing this more. The miniatures are absolutely lovely, really enjoyable to paint. I've painted all of the ones that I've got from my bundle now, so just got to finish the basing off on my Imperials, but that will be done probably before this video even gets uploaded. Other than that, yeah, hope it was an interesting little look at some of the mechanics. There are a lot more involved in the main game. Like I said, there are a lot of the special abilities on the cards, which I just need to have another read through. Different actions you can do, like blocking. The Dragonborn obviously has shouts and things. I haven't unlocked any yet. And there's a lot of different cards in the game. The leather armor that we picked up before is actually an upgrade card, so you would have sort of bought this before the game if you were playing co-op or head-to-head. You would have paid points for this, whereas obviously some of these items are the treasure cards that you'd find in-game. There are master treasures, so they're like the special treasures that you find in-game, and it's really cool actually seeing the items that are in this deck being from the actual Skyrim game itself. Having played it a few times, played it again, playing through it again currently, it's just that sort of feeling of, yeah, I'm in the video game. And actually I've obviously used the Warcry GW terrain today, and it's worked really well. I've got the official Call to Arms terrain on order, not here yet. I did order it separately. Sort of didn't think about it when I did my original order, and then thought actually it'd be nice to have the official stuff. So yeah, so it's gonna have to be a mix, obviously, when we get it. But we've got the official mat on order. We've got the official terrain on order. When that arrives, we will get that sort of painted up, and then we will get some delves going on. So until then, thanks for watching, and again, I hope you found this helpful. See you soon. Bye.